Have you ever thought about being an otter and just swimming on your back, or I guess floating, and eating some good old-fashioned sea urchins with your pal for life? I don't know, I think that would be kind of fun, right? Just going like, wee. Yum, 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 yum. Anyways, hello everybody, this is That Manga Dude, and welcome to another reading log. This is for the good old-fashioned month of August, where I actually managed to read much more than I picked up this time around. So I read a total of 58 different volumes slash issues. You'll see, I guess, graphic novels. There's going to be 2 comics in here, so just keep that in mind as we go through it. You'll be like, oh, well, what is that? Well, I will explain to it when we get there. But yeah, there's a lot to go through, so let's get started right now. Let's go. Alright, so we started off August with a bang, and that is with My Girlfriend's Child, Volume 2 from Mamoru Aoi. If you don't know what this manga is about, basically it's about this high school couple where, they're really adorable, they're really cute, they really love each other, and then she actually gets pregnant, which is why the name comes from. So it's about them trying to figure it out, trying to go through all of this, trying to understand and see what they're going to do in the future with everything. It tackles a variety of topics, especially teenage pregnancy, and of course all of the fallout from that. So yeah, if you're easily disturbed or triggered by any of these things, I would say highly don't avoid this. But it is tackled in a very tasteful way and explained really well as well. So yeah, overall this was a really good volume. Continues obviously off the first volume's like really good precedent, and really enjoyed this volume. I'm really excited for volume 3. Alright, up next, I decided to read Shaman King Flowers Volume 3 from Yakitate, and yeah, we just get more context about who, like, the other Asakura family is, and what this new fight is against, like, I guess the next big bad. Looks like it's gonna be cool. It's kind of set up for a lot. I liked the first 2 volumes, and I think this 3rd volume is where I'm starting to actually really like it, which is unsurprising. I am obviously biased. Shaman King is my favorite series of all time, so I need to read this in a way. Yeah, but I'm starting to actually really like it now, and I know it's only 7 volumes or 6 volumes. It's not super long, but yeah, excited to see where it goes in the near future. Alright, up next, I decided to read 4 volumes of Anonymous Noise. That's volumes 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we have started the big concert arc, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, they're going on a tour around Japan at a variety of different bars and venues, and yeah, we get a lot more drama between the characters, but we do actually also get some closure on a variety of some errors or issues that have been going on with some of the characters, so that's good to see. And yeah, I'm interested to see who she eventually falls in love with. I have a feeling I know who it's going to be, but I think it'd be awesome if she doesn't go for the person I think it is. Anyways, yeah, the series continues to be awesome, and I can't wait to finish it soon. Alright, up next, I decided to read 4 volumes of Kakaishi. That's volumes 8, 9, 10, and 11, which is weirdly the same as Anonymous Noise. I did not do that on purpose, I promise. It's actually kind of strange. Anyways, Kakaishi is a super awesome series, fantastic shonen series following the story of these 2, oh, well, she's not here. Tokide and this guy here, Yoshimori, and yeah, it's about their story about protecting this, basically this special site where demons and stuff can get really strong by just absorbing energy from there. So there's a lot of mystery to it, a lot of like really interesting story plots and story beats just across this first few volumes. Obviously 8 through 11, there's a major character death that happens, which totally took me off guard, and honestly I'm like kind of still shook by it, which is why I kind of stopped at 11, because I actually have a couple more volumes after this. But yeah, this series continues to be fantastic. The art is super gorgeous. Honestly, give it a shot. The action's really cool, just really cool designs across the board. It's definitely worth a read. Alright, up next, I decided to read the 2nd volume of Call the Name of the Night from Tama Mitsuboshi. So, the first volume I absolutely loved. I adored it. I thought it was gorgeous. It tells a really good story, and the characters are very well written, and that continues to be the case here. There's just some really beautiful shots, and we get to meet some interesting characters as well. But look at this. This is just so beautiful, detailed. I'm trying to give you as much of a close-up as I can, but absolutely gorgeous stuff. This is a beautiful manga. If you don't know what it is, just to give you a real quick like overview, basically the main character is inflicted with this sickness where she kind of summons the night, or she summons darkness if she becomes like anxious in any kind of way. So yeah, they're trying to find a cure for her, and just tells her story between the doctor and her. And yeah, it's super adorable, it's super beautiful, it's really worth reading, honestly, and I'm kind of surprised that no one else truly is talking about it. It's really a shame because this series is super good. Give it a shot if you can find it. Up next, I decided to read the next volume of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. This is volume 8 from Kanehito Yamada and Tsukasa Abe. I've talked about the series at length. The anime is coming out, I believe, soon, if it hasn't come out already. But yeah, just a really fantastic high fantasy series. We continue our journey in the north, like the high north or whatever, where it's really snowy and stuff. So yeah, we get some interesting stuff and some interesting backstory with our main elf character, Frieren, about what she did, I guess, in the past. Yeah, so overall it's got some cool fights, I guess, just across the board. We get to meet some more of the demon characters, so yeah, overall exciting volume. I'm really excited for volume 9. Alright, up next, I decided to read The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, Volume 4 from Comey Fujichika. Yeah, another good volume. Nothing much to talk about. I don't know, not a lot happens. I would say that the girl character, Mie, yeah, okay, I was right. Mie is suddenly starting to show some feelings, I guess, for our main character, which is kind of nice. And good that it's earlier than later, but yeah, interested to see where they go from here. Alright, up next, the first comic that I decided to read that wasn't manga, that is Tali, Daughter of the Moon from Soria. I believe that's Saria. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. I apologize. Probably should look it up, but it's a French Laotian cartoonist, which is really flippin' cool. But basically it tells a story about this girl here, who is the like princess, and her kingdom has now just been invaded. It's real bad. But yeah, she has like this kind of special power that's not truly explained, but basically it's a supernatural power that a lot of people look down upon in general, and that's why she's being hunted. But yeah, then she gets helped by her like knight in shining armor, as well as these two on the side here. So overall, it's a really like simple plot, but it does the job well. The art is gorgeous. It's obviously manga inspired, but it has its like own, how would I say it, like kind of like its own, why am I blanking on the word? It feels special. Like, it feels like it's not just like direct copy of any specific artist. It looks like they took some of their favorite inspirations and really put it together to make something unique and special. There we go. I think that's the word I was looking for. Unique and special. I don't know why I was blanking on that. But yeah, overall, it's a really good first graphic novel volume. I'm excited for when the second one comes out. I don't know when it is, but yeah, this is actually really cool. I like it a lot. And up next, I decided to read the second volume of Pita 10 from Kogidambo, and yes, it continues to be as strange as the first volume was, and it is still very, very fun to read it in a southern accent. Yeah, I don't know what much else to say about it, because it feels very episodic. This doesn't feel like there's a lot, like, big plot going on, but yeah, we keep getting characters introduced and stuff like that, and yeah, they're kind of fun and kind of weird, so excited to read the rest of the series as we keep going. Alright, up next, I decided to read Zom 100 Volume 8. Yeah, this is the fantastic series from Haru Aso and Kotaro Takata. Has a wonderful anime that my fiance and I are watching right now, and it is awesome as well. This volume is hilarious and also just like really meaningful. I don't know. There's something about how Zom 100 mixes the kind of like stupid comedy with the kind of really deep and thought-provoking moments where like, hey, you know, you should really take advantage of the time that you have and like what you have to do on this earth. Like, if you want to pursue your passions, go for it. Because you know, there's not much left in this world. It's just a zombie apocalypse. You might as well go for what you always wanted to do. And this volume tackles that pretty well across the board. And obviously the art is fantastic as always, and just kind of goofy, strange, and weird. So yeah, can't wait to keep reading more of this. I think I'm 3 volumes behind right now. I think volume 11 just released recently, so I need to catch up as soon as possible. Up next, I read Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 20 from Gege Akutami with this very strange cover. Gosh, I do not like this cover at all. It is weird looking, to say the least. I don't know, there's something about how his abs are drawn no, whatever. It has nothing to do with the volume per se. But anyways, this contains a really cool fight between him, this like paper lady, and the sword man, Yuta? Yeah, Yuta, that's his name. Yeah, overall, really cool fight, and kind of wish these volumes were coming out faster because, like, when I was reading this, I'm like, it felt like I didn't really have much attached to volume 19, which is not necessarily a shame, it's just kind of weird. But like I said, this fight's pretty flippin' cool, so I don't know, I can't be too mad about it, but yeah, I can't wait for the next volume. Up next, I decided to read the second volume of Cinderella Closet. This is from Wakana Yanai. Features a story about this girl who moves to Tokyo thinking she's gonna become like this super big person. College can be all crazy and stuff, and overall she just becomes like kind of a locked up, going to college, go to work, go to college, go to work, until she meets this person who's really into makeup, and she, the main character asks for advice on how to do makeup, and lo and behold, she meets somebody who like really cares about how she looks, and kind of teaches her the world of makeup, and basically like it's less about trying to impress someone else, it's more about feeling confident in yourself, which in my opinion, that's what makeup really is at the end of the day. Is like makeup is like for making yourself feel comfortable, confident, and making yourself look beautiful, not necessarily for somebody else. If that's your goal with makeup, you know, that's fine, that's totally cool. But like I said, at the end of the day, I hope it makes you feel confident, makes you feel beautiful, makes you feel however you want to feel. Yeah. The second volume, we get to see more of like other relationships blossoming, for better or for worse. I'm kind of curious as to where, once again, where the main girl is going to choose between the two characters that we currently have as the main love triangle in a way, and we'll see, I guess in volume 3, but yeah, definitely some very frustrating things where I really wanted to punch someone super hard, but I'm not going to say who, but overall, good volume. Alright, up next, gotta talk about it, this volume, Akane-Banashi, volume 1 from Yuki Suenaga and Takamasa Moe. Whoa, wow, what a fantastic volume. I've already talked about it all in detail in FBI, so go watch that if you want my absolutely full review. But if you want the TLDR, which you're going to get here, amazing volume, super amazing, super good, could not put it down. Art is gorgeous, the story is great, the characters are amazing, everything is so good. There's a perfect mix of imagery, like surrealism and realism within this series. It's awesome, and it helps you to understand Rakugo without being overly explicit about everything, about explaining everything, which, you know, you could always appreciate. I've always been a person who appreciates implicit information, aka information that's implied, not necessarily explicitly told to you, and this has that perfect mix of it, where we get like the story first, someone kind of explains it and kind of doesn't at the same time, so you get to kind of fill in the blanks for yourself, which I always appreciate. That means that the writer slash creator believes that their audience can figure it out or can fill in the blanks themselves, doesn't always necessarily need a silver platter. So overall, a fantastic first volume. I absolutely love this series. I cannot wait for volume 2, and yeah, hope it comes out sooner than later. I believe it's supposed to come out next month. Although, I did see someone on Twitter that got the second volume last month, which is super crazy. I don't know why that comic book shop gave it to them so early, but whatever. I hope mine decides to give it to me too. Alright, up next, now on a more disappointing note, this is volume 3 of Ayashimon, Yuji Kaku. Yeah, I knew that the series was canceled very early. It definitely is a shame, because I feel like this could have done really, really well if they just let it keep going, to be honest. So yeah, this volume really just feels like it ends, which is a really big shame, because like I mentioned, the art is always really good. The characters are actually pretty fun and kind of interesting across the board, and it really felt like there would have been some like fun fights between like the main leaders of the syndicate versus them, but we never got that. And I feel like the ending was just kind of like he had to finish it kind of thing, which sucks. It really, really sucks. Between this and Red Hood, I think I still prefer Ayashimon, but yeah. Both not great at ending, unfortunately, and it's just such a shame that this series was axed before it could truly finish. Yeah, that's about as much as I can say about it. All right, coming up next, we have the first volume of A Windbreaker from Satoru Ni. I've talked about this one quite often now, both in the FBI, both in the pickups, and now here we are in the reading log. So, just to give you the quick TLDR, it is good. It's really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's a different twist slash take on the delinquent genre, so kind of appreciate where it's going. I kind of like that, like, there's a team, a squad that we're about, like, ready to meet, and the main character is surprisingly likable. He's kind of goofy, he's kind of weird, but, you know, he seems like he has a good heart. So excited to see where the series goes, and yeah, excited for Volume 2. Alright, up next, I decided to read Volume 2 of Tokyo Aliens from Now Away. Finally, I managed to read this because, like, finding any volume that wasn't completely just mangled and looked like it was bitten by, like, a cat or a dog was almost nearly impossible for a few months. So, glad to finally have this in, like, fairly decent condition. And yeah, I continue to like this series. I really wish I'd gotten this volume earlier. I've already mentioned it before, but the art's really good and the action's really fun. And this volume lands on a cliffhanger like no other. Left me audibly gasped, gobsmacked, mouth on the floor, like, what the heck just happened? So definitely on the hunt for Volume 3, and hopefully we'll try to get it soon. Alright, up next, I decided to read the next 2 volumes of Inuyasha that I have. So this is Volumes 2 and 3. And yeah, it's a good series. I don't know, I really enjoy it. Rumiko Takahashi is, I don't know, is really good at drawing action and also comedy at the same time. Character designs are a ton of fun, and really excited to see where we go. We go back to the human world in these volumes, and we get to meet that really creepy mask thing in Volume 3. So yeah, 2 very good volumes. We also meet Shishomaru for the first time, so excited to see where Volume 4 and 5 take me. Alright, up next, I decided to read Kowloon Generic Romance Volume 4 from Jun Maizuki. I have talked about the series at length because it is such a good series. It's 100% worth looking into. Fantastic sci-fi, mystery, thriller, romance series. Definitely worth a look. The art is gorgeous. The story is thought-provoking and interesting, and it really keeps you on your toes. You're not really sure what's going to happen, and I kind of love it. So excited to see where Volume 5 goes when we get it. But yeah, Volume 4, another fantastic volume. Alright, up next, I decided to read Yu Morikawa's Mr. Villain's Day Off Volume 1. So, the series is about this big old villain man who destroys the things for, like, his job to take over the world, and then on his day off, he just kind of just does nothing, just kind of hangs out. That's what this whole manga is about. It's about him just having his day off, doing whatever. He loves pandas for some reason. And yeah, it's just kind of goofy, kind of weird, and it's pretty entertaining. It's just a slice of life series, so it's really fun if you just want a chill, kind of strange manga. Alright, up next, I decided to read Volumes 3 and 4 of Flame of Recca. This series is actually really flippin' cool. And I know I'm obviously super late to it, but I'm kind of surprised that not a lot of people do mention it. This is by Nobuyuki Anzai, who is the same mangaka behind the series Mare or Mar. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll never know how to pronounce it. I don't care. But I recently read that series. I read the entire series in one go. So now I am slowly but surely making my way through Flame of Recca, trying to collect all the volumes, of course. And yeah, it's just a fun little action series. The action is a ton of fun. The characters are kind of goofy and strange. The weapon designs are super cool, and the series gets a little creepy, I guess very creepy at multiple parts, which I always appreciate. So yeah, super cool. Can't wait to read the next volume. Alright, up next, I decided to read Volume 4 of Colorless. We get some more information, I forgot to mention it's by Kant, but we decided to get more information about our main character, which is kind of cool because, like, there's something off about him, I guess is the best way to put it, but definitely read this series. It's super cool. It's a really awesome, like, dystopian sci-fi series with some absolutely gorgeous color in it, and we also get a major betrayal in this. Kind of not surprising if you are paying attention, but, like, definitely was expecting it, but still I was like, oh my. Yeah, excited to see where this series continues to go, because I think it feels like we're closer to the end, probably within the next couple volumes, but yeah, really having a fun time with this one. All right, up next, I read the 16th volume of Yakitate Japan from Takashi Hashiguchi, and yeah, we get more of the like final tournament arc. I believe this is what's supposed to be. We move into like this kind of like strange battle between these kind of like not dancers, but they're like kind of like a idol group that is known for cooking and stuff. And yeah, it's a competition between them for the second round, and they're kind of jerks and really lame stereotypes, to be honest. But yeah, excited to see where this series continues to go. Continues to be kind of innovative in terms of like how they make bread, and it's like kind of really fun to watch it happen. And it makes me question whether or not it's possible. I'm assuming it is, but yeah, it's always in the back of my head like, I wonder if it is possible. But yeah, super fun. I know I'm getting close to the end. I think I'm like 10-ish volumes away from the end. So yeah, excited to see where it goes. Alright, up next, I decided to read volumes 19 and 20 of Daisuke Higuchi's awesome series, Whistle, and just as I said it, it's awesome. Basically, they get invited, our main boy here, Sho, and two of the other people in his school team get invited to this giant practice slash like camp where they are getting ready to prepare for like see who which area or section or prefecture is the best. And yeah, I love Sho's team. Sho's team is awesome, but we also get like kind of like a big plot twist in volume 20, I believe, where somebody is on a different team. So that's interesting and very strange. But I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. I'm pretty close to the end. I think there's only like 4 more volumes after this. So yeah, really excited to see where this goes. Awesome soccer series or football, depending on where you're from, but definitely worth a read. All right. More comics. So I decided to read Moving Pictures from Catherine and Stuart Immonen. This is a very interesting like character-driven, like it's a character-driven story. Basically it follows these two people. One of them is like a detective or like someone from the police or something like that, and the other one is a museum runner. You come to find out that like they have like a special relationship, and it's about how their relationship and their jobs are kind of mixing together in a not so great way. But yeah, the story takes place during World War II, so it's during Nazi-occupied France. Obviously, she is a French museum curator, and the cop guy is believed to be, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be a German cop. So it's interesting to see like their dynamic. Their characters are very, very complex and strange, and the art is really cool. I really like this art a lot. It uses the color black, or uses black very, very strong, like in terms of contrast and using it for negative space and positive space and everything like that. So overall, yeah, this is a really cool, like pretty short series too. It wasn't too long of a read. I think it was like an hour probably total, but definitely worth it if you like your like historical dramas. It's very cool, very cool. Alright, up next, decided to read the first volume of Heart Gear, Tsuyoshi Takaki, same mangaka behind Black Torch. This series is super cool. Another kind of sci-fi, like dystopian, or I guess not really dystopian, but basically it's like a post-apocalyptic series. Follows a story about this girl here on the front who is like friends with this, or I guess not friends, but like this robot is her uncle, and yeah, she's like appears to be the last living human, and it's about her story as she proceeds through this kind of mechanical wasteland as she's meeting all these other people, along with this other robot guy who I'm not going to explain. You should just go and read the series. It's definitely worth it. It's super fun. The action is awesome. The art is gorgeous, and overall it's just a ton of fun. There's a lot of really great designs. I love this thing so much, and I can't wait to read more. Alright, up next I decided to read Mississippi's Invisible Parade. So this is a short story compilation by an indie artist, and yeah, it's just a variety of stories, short and long. Some of them have recurring characters, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it's just weird, it's strange, but it's kind of, I don't know, endearing, I guess is the best way to put it. Also, it's printed on beautiful blue ink, which is super cool, and it has like this kind of like pencil-y art in a lot of parts, so it's really, really nice in that aspect. So it's kind of cool. If you want to like read a interesting indie comic, this was definitely worth a pickup. This is also by Glacier Bay, who I've talked about previously, but they are an awesome indie comics publisher. You should definitely give them a shot. They are super cool. All right, up next, I decided to read the Eisner Winner, which I had to tell you, this is volume 8, and wow, the series continues to be flippin' awesome. We were getting ready for this festival, getting hosted, I believe that's in the main city, so they're all preparing for this festival, and we're getting more context for him, and another character that we met during, I think it was like volume 3, one of the characters that Coco saved during this mudslide, and yeah, it's, it's very hard to read this volume in a way because it's just like, wow. It's talking about privilege versus like your, what is it? Like, it's your privileges as a person that has control over what they can do, like Coco has, versus one of these other characters who does not. So he's kind of discussing that, and it tackles that in a really well thought out and really well. It gets you thinking a lot. It's just there's so much that goes into this specific like time and moment in this series, and yeah, it's a lot to read, but man, it is definitely worth a read for that, honestly. But yeah, this volume is fantastic. Love this series. The series is super awesome. Can't wait for volume 9. Whew, had to get some water there. I was parched. But coming into the next volume, this is Comey Can't Communicate, volume 26 from Tomohito Oda. And like I always say, almost as a joke at this point, but also kind of serious, it's Comey. You know, you could say it with me, it's Comey. So yeah, we just get more of their relationship together. It's cute. It's fun. I love it. I can't wait for volume 27. Alright, up next, decided to read The Delinquent Housewife, Volume 3 from Nemu Yoko. This continues to be a really strange and kind of weird series. I'm not sure where this is going to go, but yeah, this is just a ton of fun. Really nice color page, just as a random fact of the day. I like this color page a lot. It's super cool. But I don't like where this is going per se, so I'm interested to see where Volume 4 goes. Hopefully it's not super weird, because if it is weird, yeah. But overall, I don't know, it's still kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. Alright, up next, I read this chunky, good old-fashioned hardcover Lupin III, Thick as Thieves. This is the second the second hardcover like compilation manga for Lupin III. This is the one that just recently came out, and yeah, this is an absolutely terrifying cover. I do not like this cover. It is kind of just, I don't know, it does not appeal to my taste at all. But overall, we got some really cool stories. I actually prefer the stories in this one over the first one. But yeah, follows the gang doing their typical gang stuff. Yeah, if you like Lupin III, definitely give it a shot. It's super cool. Alright, up next, I decided to read Helter Skelter, Fashion Unfriendly from Kyoko Okazaki, and wow, this was a lot. Tackles all of the very dark and kind of just screwed up stuff with the fashion industry, how like everything is just so fast for these idols and for these models, where everything can be gone in a flash, or things just like go super fast and just kind of disappear, almost in a depressing state, but it's such a realistic and raw way. There's a lot of like heavy emotions for these characters. Some of them are just so messed up and terrible people, obviously a product of the culture and everything around them, but yeah, overall this is a really good read about if you want to see just the absolute horrible things that are in the fashion industry. I think this is a great example of what happens if things go off the rails, and kind of stay in the rails, to be honest, because I feel like it's perpetuated by the industry and also by the populace as well. So overall, fantastic read. I've been really liking Kyoko Okazaki's work. I thought Pink was great. I thought River's Edge was fantastic, which, important to note, River's Edge has a character that is featured in Helter Skelter. So yeah, if you want more context about that character, you should also go read River's Edge and Helter Skelter. But yeah, overall, this is a fantastic one-shot, definitely worth a shot, but it is unbelievably triggering for a variety of reasons. There are so many warnings that I could give, it would be impossible. I would say just go search it up, because yeah, there is a lot for this, but definitely worth a read. Alright, up next, I decided to read If My Favorite Pop Idol Made It to the Budokan, I Would Die, from Arui Hyato. So basically, it follows a story about this underground idol group, or basically like this like kind of not as famous idol group, but it follows a story about these like 3 people, or I guess technically 2, but it's like 3 people who are super into this idol group. One of them is this girl who is on the front. She's a huge fan of a girl named Mina, who is this girl, who's like not necessarily the biggest idol out of the group, but she gets super nervous around her, and so does she, and they kind of like each other in a way. Oh my gosh, they're so cute together. But it also features some really gorgeous color pages at the beginning, so really appreciate Tokyopop for doing that. But overall, it's just a fun little volume, first volume. Nothing super to write home about. Like, the writing is good, the art is pretty good too. Kind of curious as to how the main character and Mina are gonna go out together, because this is a love series, so this will be interesting to see where this goes. Up next, I decided to read the first volume of Midori Days from Kazuro Inoue, and wow, this was really strange, but follows a story about this delinquent kid who's known for his devil's right hand, but basically one day he wakes up and lo and behold, this girl is on his devil's right hand, and now he has to live with it at this point. So it's very strange, it's very weird. This girl is super down bad, to say the least. The art is very 90s, but yeah, it's still fun. I don't know, it reminds me a lot of a Pretty Face. I don't know what that means per se, but yeah, it's fun, it's entertaining. I'm not getting my hopes up for it, but it feels like a trashy kind of fun, so we'll see. Up next, I decided to read Voiceful from Naoko. So I actually picked this up in Toronto when I was there, and I've been holding off on it. I don't know why, just kind of have, but basically follows a story about this online singer who's like super popular with this girl, and this girl is like, oh my gosh, you've changed my life, you know, I appreciate you so much, blah blah blah, you're amazing. And yeah, so it follows their relationship together. It's interesting because I feel like this is supposed to be like a Yuri series, but it doesn't really feel like a Yuri series because there's no true romance. I guess like towards the end there's like kind of like a aw moment, but like they don't really get together, I guess. But yeah, it's just a cute little read. It was pretty short too. There's a short story in here that has nothing to do with the main characters, so yeah, it's fine, I guess. It was cool. Alright, up next, I decided to read Guia Bano Holiday by Papanya, who is the same mangaka behind Invitation from a Crab. This one is kind of featuring that same little character, just doing a bunch of random stuff, going, I don't know, digging for, I think it's sweet potatoes. It's very strange. Meeting like these alien, or like talking about faking a journal, and then I believe it's supposed to be like the mangaka's like journey through, it's the Philippines, I believe. So they go throughout the Philippines and stuff like that, and trying to find a guyabano, which is a type of fruit, which I believe is, what is it called? Soursop, I think, here in the Americas. So overall, yeah, it was cool. I actually really like this a lot. I actually think I prefer it over An Invitation from a Crab. Not necessarily any reason why. I think I just prefer the stories in this one a little bit more. But yeah, overall, it's just a fun little slice of life, kind of like thought-provoking, almost like poetic kind of manga. So if you like that kind of stuff, give it a shot. Alright, up next, I decided to read this very strange Feng Shui Academy from Haruka Shoji and Midori Natsu. Basically follows a story about this school that teaches about Feng Shui, but like incorporates magic and all this stuff into it. It is very weird. I don't even know if I would highly suggest picking it up and reading it, but the art's pretty good and it describes Feng Shui pretty well, but this feels a little bit too explicit for me, where it's just like in terms of like, this is Feng Shui, but we're gonna somehow twist it into the story somehow, and like, it doesn't really work for me. But I find this to be such a weird like volume of manga to have, so now I'm just gonna keep it, hold on to it, probably talk about it in a future video as part of like a weirdest manga I have in my collection or something. I don't know, it's odd, and I kind of appreciate having it because it's so weird. Alright, up next, decided to read Shouha Show 10 Volume 3 from Akinari Asakura and Takashi Obata. Fantastic, wonderful, lovely. I love it so much. I love this series so much. Follows a story about these two comedians, or two people who are trying to become comedians, and they are now participating in this big tournament in order to make it into like this major comedy tournament. But yeah, it features all these heavyweights who tell a variety of stories, and they're just weird and goofy and strange, and it is a ton of fun. I love it so much, and it features Takashi Obata's work. which I always appreciate his artwork. It is just one of my favorites. Maybe when I make a video about my top 10 like mangaka in terms of art style, you'll probably see him on there. But yeah, still a ton of fun. I love it, and it ends on a huge cliffhanger. I need to get volume 4 as soon as possible, please. Alright, up next, I decided to read volume 3 of Shy from Bukimi Miki. And yeah, the series continues to be super awesome. Awesome superhero series. And now we get more information about our Russian superhero. And we get a super cool fight between these two characters who are extremely weird, extremely strange. But excited to read more. The series is super fun. The action is awesome. And I love the character designs. They're all really cool. So excited for volume 4. Hope it comes out soon. Alright, up next I decided to read volumes 1 through 7 of My Love Story from Kazune Kawahara and Aruko. I should have read this years ago. This is amazing. It is so funny. It's hilarious. I love it so much. It makes me laugh all the time. It is so much fun. Oh, there it is. The best, one of my favorite, oh, where is it? Okay, one of my favorite panels is right here. Are you stuck? There's just so many hilarious moments. It's so strange. It's so funny. Absolutely lovely high school rom-com. Give it a shot. Honestly, it's so much fun. Anime is great too. Consume either. I don't care. They're both great. Kazune Kawahara is the mangaka behind High School Debut, and Aruko is one of the mangaka working on My Love Mix-Up. Funny enough, it's like a very similar name, but different story. But yeah, it's great. The art is fantastic. The story is lovely. I can't wait to read more and finish up the series as soon as possible. Up next, I read the 5th volume of Candy and Cigarettes from Tomonori Inoue. Man, it felt really close. We were so close to killing off the main villain. But lo and behold, obviously something happens, and it's kind of surprising, but really interested to see where it goes. It feels like we're getting kind of close to a major climax with the story, and yeah, still love it. The action is great. We get into a pretty screwed up moment in the middle of this. That really seems like kind of like a very much like the nadir of the series, so hopefully we get back to the top. And yeah, it's just it's a ton of fun. Alright, up next, I decided to read the 3rd volume of Barakamon from Satsuki Yoshino. Barakamon continues to be really fun. We get to meet some of our sensei's friends from back home, and yeah, and they're kind of trying to convince him to come back to the mainland so that he can continue his ways in doing calligraphy. And yeah, they're very strange, just like the rest of the cast, but this series continues to be a lot of fun. I actually am really enjoying it, and I can't wait to read more of it. I have up to volume 9, so about halfway through the series in terms of owning it, but only about a very small amount in the series itself. But yeah, definitely want to read more. It's kind of a dense read, not gonna lie. It feels like a lot of these volumes are longer than usual, but just imagine this as like a countryside Yotsuba. So basically, instead of the family that Yotsuba is in moves into the city, it is them moving, or it is someone from the city moving into the countryside. So I don't know, take that as you will. It's a ton of fun. I love it. It's super fun. All right. Coming up second to last, this is Welcome Back Arioli. Arioli? Arioli. I don't know how to pronounce this. But this is from Takatsu. This is the same manga behind Skip and Loafer under a different name. But yeah, this is a cute little BL series. It's not super long. And yeah, they're just kind of adorable. They're kind of cute. I wish it was a little bit longer, not gonna lie. But it's like, yeah, it's like not anything super crazy. The drama is very simple and quiet. And it's just kind of interesting to read, not gonna lie. But I will say Skip and Loafer is 5,000 times better. But this is a nice, quick read. Worth it, I say. Worth taking a check out just to see what the mangaka was doing before Skip and Loafer. And last but not least, we read Baby Bear's Bakery from Kamentotsu. This is part 2, aka the 2nd volume, and it's just so cute, just so adorable. Aww. And I love that it's printed in black, white, and orange. It's great. I love this series. It's so fun. The name gives it away. It's literally just a baby bear who owns a bakery. It's nothing super crazy. It's nothing super wild, but their little antics that they come up with and like the short stories are all a ton of fun and definitely worth a read. You really should be reading it like yesterday. And that is going to be it for this reading log. What did you think? What did you read? I would love to know what you read in the month of August or in general down in the comments below. I really appreciate when you do that kind of stuff. It's a ton of fun to read it myself, especially if you're reading stuff that I'm reading, because then we can talk about it. I just love doing that. So yeah, you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. Those are all lovely things. And if you decided not to do that, then you just watch this 30+ minute video, probably. I don't know if it's 30 minutes. It feels like 30 minutes. Yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. Almost to 1,500 subscribers, which is flipping crazy. So thank you for all that. I appreciate all your support over the past year and change. Probably more than that. It's like 2 years, but whatever. Really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. Thanks for making it worth making this content. It's a lot of fun. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.